James Melendez, thank you so much for watching this video today. I do appreciate it. Now this deck is to talk about my candidacy for a role in 2020 and beyond. I'm here to help organizations to achieve clarity and optimize performance. So a bit about me and my elevator pitch is the following. So I've had a great deal of experience in many industries and functions. I spent over a decade in project management, chief of staff, and continuous improvement in the pharma, biopharma, and retail sectors. I've enjoyed utilizing continuous improvement methodologies, and I've been fortunate to learn valuable insights that have gone from each position that I've had. I would like to lend my expertise to benefit the organization in my future roles. I definitely offer a rare candidacy with relevant business experience to reduce pain points and to implement a future state. I want to talk with you more about my experience and how I can add value to your company. Value creation, creating a path to clarity, reducing complexity, implementing innovation, facilitating efficiency, developing strategy. I'm looking at this in terms of development and inclusion. So in development and inclusion, I'm also thinking about in terms of, say, diversity and inclusion. And diversity is essential. That is developing an environment for all team members to participate. So advancing critical thinking is essential to building quality products and services. Promoting team engagement. So creating a platform for team members to have a voice. This is really important because there's a way of getting each team member to go around the table to have a voice and have a thought, have a comment. So when I put on my communication hat, I'm also putting on my growth mindset hat. This is the opportunity to talk about and promote transparency. It's about utilizing a multiple channels to making sure the communication is sent and received. Also creating opportunities for continuous engagement and feedback. And then lastly, continuous learning, harnessing learnings and applying to specific business needs, promoting skills, learning, and knowledge development over time, and creating that as a mindset so people are really seeking out skills and opportunities to develop themselves over time. Advocating platforms for relevant and continuous business learnings. Also very important to think about. Also, advocating platforms for relevant and continuous improvement and business learnings. So these are my 4 functional experience lanes. So when you think of a swim lane, these are my experience lanes in terms of functionality. So in terms of project management, I believe this is my most important and one where I think it's utilized on a daily basis in any job that I have. Project management. It's looking in terms of, say, charter development, project proposal, work breakdown structure, execution, reporting, closing, and looking at lessons learned. I think this is essential. It's a very essential tool to have as an individual contributor where you might not be working on a project, but you have a mindset of understanding how to do your work in the most efficient way possible and how to create what you do and manage through your work in the most efficient way possible. Operations management is essential. From the very beginning, development and implementation, looking through a quality mindset and also executing to business process excellence and optimization, performance metrics, and goal setting. Marketing, analytics, and social media, I'll put these 2 together because in one specific role I had, I created a marketing manager position. Now this is a position where I'm bringing together digital and traditional marketing platforms, so it's servicing the community of my categories, all the stakeholders, and reaching to the customer base effectively. Sales and performance analytics, making sure that each vehicle is as responsive as possible. Marketing planning, non-traditional marketing, as well as content development and management. Now, this also pairs with social media. I was the first to create a social media plan and execution of that social media strategy, looking at how that's responding to, say, the customer base, looking at it as an opportunity to develop a community and manage that community as well. So one of my most important experiences was being a chief of staff. Now, I look at my chief of staff as an important role where I was able to align management, that is the leadership team, to the stakeholders as well as to the individual contributors, making sure that there was seamless, transparent communication, and also working towards the organization to being developed, as well as leadership team members being developed over time, making sure that there is a strategic planning method in place, and that was aligning to the larger corporate umbrella. Chief of staff is as important to me as project management in terms of my experiences. It was one where I cut my teeth on making sure that I created a seamless organizational structure. So making sure there was an alignment of leadership team, as well as to business execution. So making sure that there's transparent communication, making sure the why is known, that is decision management, and making sure there's annual strategic planning so the organization knows where it is going, making sure there's development of both the leaders and individual contributors over time, making sure there is engagement both of the stakeholder community and the individual contributors. The next one is continuous improvement. So I think about this in terms of Kaizen, if you want to make a process less complex. 5S, making sure your place is the best and easiest place to work in to make operational excellence and business process excellence, amongst other tools, are in the continuous improvement swim lane. So e-commerce and B2B, I wore my site management hat as well as my product management hat. So continuous release management, using business analytics, making sure that all stakeholders were finding satisfaction with the site itself, making sure the service was seamless, and customers were receiving the product they need, which was a pharma product at the right time at the right place. And it was all done with the regulatory boundaries in place. And so it was a really good role. It was the only role of its kind in a multi-billion-dollar pharma organization. Lastly, knowledge management. This is one where a lot of companies don't utilize it. I would say knowledge management and continuous improvement are two nuggets that a lot of organizations should be implementing and utilizing. So at 5 o'clock every single day, wherever you are, your talent walks out the door and there's no knowledge left over. This is to think about things differently. Say data and knowledge repositories, knowledge mapping, communities of practice, expert systems, and storytelling are essential to making sure your organization captures the knowledge it creates every single day. And then here is my tech stack, if you will, my skills and knowledge stack. So looking at productivity, looking at the Microsoft suite as well as the Google suite. Video, audio, and design, looking at the Adobe suite as well as Final Cut Pro for editing for video, as well as audio editing on Hindenburg. Enterprise solution, this is probably my golden swim lane. This is where I had experience in SAP, such as order to cash management, as well as supply chain module, looking at business objects through SAP, Salesforce, NPSP, Seismic, Tableau, and other very specific enterprise solutions. This is really probably one of the heartbeats of every single corporation. Now, methodologies are essential in any organization, but they're ways of doing things, such as a Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, Kaizen for getting back to more of a simple state or simplified state, looking at NPS, Net Promoter Score, knowledge management, 5S, as well as project management. So these methodologies are essential to any organization. So role titles, this is just to really give you an idea of what I'm seeking. So everything from Chief of Staff, Business Operations Analyst, Project Management, Continuous Improvement Manager, Product Manager, and so forth. So you may have a position and maybe it's titled like this or something similar to this. I'm seeking these roles and also additional roles. So maybe you have a role that maybe it's not this specific title, but it's similar to these titles. Definitely let me know. My education is from the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My major is in political science, where I was interested in group politics as well as international relations, Eastern European and American politics, minored in management. And from St. Mary's University of Minnesota in Winona, Minnesota, I got a philanthropy and development degree. There are very few of these programs in the United States, and I was one of the first Hispanic students to get an MA in philanthropy and development. And in closing, I want to talk with you about an opportunity you have or that you might know about. Let's talk so I can give further details on my experience and how I can add value. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. My email address is james.melendez@gmail.com. Thank you again.